Hello, 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 hello. Welcome to Networking Know-How. And today I'm going to help you know how to position yourself more effectively when you are transacting business. I just had conversations all week about this where people are like, you know what? I need to find a new client. I need to find a new job, and I'm going to go networking. And I'm going to break this down for you why that is not the most effective approach. There's a different approach that can help you. So we're going to talk about going for the brain power and why that is much more effective than when you're just going for the transaction. So we're going to dig all into that. So get up and chat. Let me know where you're watching from and join the conversation. I see some people watching live. I'm so glad you are here. Thank you so much for watching. And if you're watching on replay, I'm glad you're here too. But let me introduce myself. If this is the first time we are connecting, I'm Laura Morlando, the Stress Commando, and I am the founder and CEO of Down and Dirty Networking. We are a 100% relational networking community. Well, what is relational networking? Simple. We are focused on having meaningful conversations to learn from and about somebody to build a lasting and authentic relationship. This is a no pitch slapping zone. And what we try to do here every Wednesday is to give you a tip, an insight, a different perspective on how you can leverage relational networking that we do in our online community, how you can adapt a relational networking mindset and leverage it in any situation, whether it be transactional networking, whether it be engaging with your friends, family, coworkers, vendors, it doesn't matter. This will absolutely increase the meaningfulness of your conversation so you can network more stress free like we do inside of our community. So let's get into today. So today we're talking about the number one most underutilized resource that I find that networkers do not tap into when they are networking, and that is the brain power or the collective brain power of any networking organization or even of their own personal network, all the contacts that they have on social media. So let me break this down and explain what this means. So, for example, if you are looking for a job and you walk into a traditional networking meeting, you're going to think networking is basically a sales activity. And you're going to walk in and say, hey, I'm looking for a job. Who do you know that can hire me? Who do you know? Who do you know? Who do you know? And you're going to just be looking, hire me, hire me, hire me. It's a version of buy my stuff. Or maybe you're a corporate professional and you're going to a corporate event and you really want to be seen and heard. And so you're kind of schmoozing with everybody and you're really wanting to position yourself for, say, a promotion. And so you're going to talk to the right people and you'll say, hey, these are all the reasons that I would really like to be considered for a promotion. And you're going to be pitching yourself. So again, kind of buy my stuff, right? Pitching yourself to all of the important people so that you can be seen and heard. Or maybe you are an entrepreneur or somebody that's in sales, or you're a business owner and you're looking for new clients. So when you think of networking, you're thinking of, hey, I need a new client. I'd like to book a discovery call. I'd like to book a free quote, whatever your situation may be, but you're looking for a new client. Those are all buy my stuff activities. And a buy my stuff activity is selling and telling. Let me break this down for you. As a marketing consultant, marketing is not sales. Networking is not sales. Networking is either a business development activity or it can be a marketing activity depending on how you approach it. If you are 100% pitching and selling and telling, you're treating it like sales, which is maybe why you're struggling to get results, and it becomes more of a business development activity where there's a hope and a prayer that you will get the thing you're asking for. But if you engage in relational networking, it flips the script. It all of a sudden no longer feels icky or schmarmy or any of those things. And here's what I mean by that. Go for the brain power. So in the example of the person looking for a job, if you're going into a traditional networking environment where it's very typical to do 30-second commercials and pitches, but you flip it and you say, you know, what I'm looking for right now is I am job hunting. And I would love if you know anybody that has recently been in the job hunt that could give me some best advice. Or if you're a hiring manager, what things do you look for when you're hiring people, just so I can position myself and make sure I'm up to date with all of the current trends for hiring and job searching. In other words, I'm not asking you to hire me. I'm not asking you to refer me to a job. But because I'm tapping into your brain power, two things happen. Number one, you know I'm looking for a job. Number two, you know that I am open to be coachable. Being coachable is one of the best skills and the most attractive skills to a hiring manager. And so you just did both of those things by going for the brain power. And they're going to keep you top of mind when there is a job. They're going to lean and say, well, what exactly are you looking for? What have you tried? They're going to lean in with questions and you're going to have a more meaningful conversation than you ever would have had you pitch slapped them to try and get the job offer or referral right out of the gate. You're also going to be like, oh, these are great ideas. Yes, I can upgrade my resume. This, oh, yes, I could do this. Or maybe they tell you of a great organization that you can go to that there are a lot of job clubs that are really, really effective. And so maybe they refer you to that. Or maybe, just maybe, you're like, it's funny you should ask. We're hiring. You absolutely never know what opportunities could come. But I promise you, you will learn a lot more when you go for the brain power because you're tapping into all of the things that they know versus making a single sale. The minute they say no, they're closed down. They're not even referring you and you're done and you move to the next person. What a waste of opportunity and energy. It's so much better if you go for the brain power, lean into meaningfulness, learn something, and make better use and a more effective use of your time. But what if you are a corporate professional and you are in that scenario, you're looking to get a promotion? Well, if you go for the brain power and you ask around, say, hey, I'd really like to position myself in the best way possible for a promotion, what advice would you give me to make that happen sooner than later? You're going to get feedback that is going to be really helpful and they know you're looking for a promotion. It's the same way you have shown that you're coachable and oftentimes that's the missing piece most people will give them the edge for a promotion much like when they get hired for a job. So you're going to get really great advice, but you can also ask this outside of your company. Say, hey, I'm looking for a promotion. What advice would you give me? Um, and just see what other people say. You never know what opportunities might be handed to you, and you may learn the very thing you need that gets you the promotion in the company that you work for. So never underestimate the power of brain power. All right, so let's talk about, well, what if, Laura, I'm that business owner or I'm that entrepreneur, and I look at networking as selling and telling, and I really need new clients. How does brain power really work in that environment? Well, it goes back to what I said about marketing. Marketing is not selling, and networking can either be a marketing activity or a business development activity, depending on the way that you approach it. When you go after, from an entrepreneur, you go for new clients, from a more relational networking standpoint and you go for the brain power. So, for example, if I'm looking for more people to sign up for my 8 week unlimited leads program, or I'm looking for more people to join our community in down and dirty networking, I would ask, say, hey, I'm looking for different ways to do this. What advice would you give me? What ideas could you brainstorm for me? Do you have any suggestions for me? Well, one, you know about the two programs that I have. You know that I'm looking to grow that, and I might actually get a tip that trips the cycle. More often than not, someone will say, well, what have you already tried? Or what's the challenge that you're currently facing? And you have a more meaningful conversation. And if they say, you know what, I don't really know, I don't have any feedback. I said, well, what would you need to know to be able to make a decision to join the community? I'm not asking you to join Down Under Networking. I'm not selling you into my 8 week unlimited leads program. I'm just curious, what would you need to know to be able to make a decision? That could be really helpful to me. And they'll tell you, this is how I would approach a buying decision. And so now you have a framework that you can measure against what you're currently doing to see if there's some improvements or there's some upgrades that you can make to the process. Or maybe they're just really not able to provide any feedback. You say, well, do you know anybody I can talk to here in this group community room, wherever you are? Do you know anyone I can talk to that might be able to give you some guidance who's kind of been there, done that? Or who might be a candidate for my community or for my program that I can talk to? I'm not selling them. I would just love to get some feedback. This is free market research, but you're also being top of mind. The thing that you will have in any situation, so in all the situation I just gave you, you will boost your reputational capital with the person that you're talking to because you're not pitch slapping them. Now, here's the bonus. The bonus is that at the end, you can say, oh my gosh, what can I help you with? What's a challenge you're having? What's something that you need to overcome that I can share some of my expertise back with you? Make it a two-way conversation. It's all too often where people don't do that. One of our new Down and Dirty Networking members, we had a conversation today, and she's like, Laura, you've been really helpful, but I really want to be able to help you. I was like, thank you. I really appreciate that. That right there is the essence of relational networking, always being focused on a two-way conversation that is win, win, and when you can make it, a win, win, win. I love the win-win wins, but that's a whole nother conversation. So stay tuned. I'm going to explain what that is. Or private message me, and I'll tell you how you get the win, win, win. But the point here is you have to be focused on wanting to make it a two-way conversation versus that pitch slap where you're transactional minded only. So the number one resource that I find most people don't tap into is that brain power. It boosts your reputational capital. It shortens your runway to success because you're getting brain power of things that are going to work for you so that you can put them into action quickly. Fast action is the fastest way to get the fast results. And the only way that you can do that is by following along and being coachable and doing the work of someone who can give you some really great advice. So I hope this was helpful. Thank you for watching live. I appreciate you so much. So when you're going out and about in your networking, go for the brain power. Be inquisitive, lean into relational networking and ask questions. Know what the thing is that you're looking for instead of just the thing you need to sell or get or obtain, whether it be the promotion or the job or what have you. And bless and release the transactional mindset, and you will find you will get your results more quickly. You will find that your reputational capital is more intact, and you're not seen as someone like, oh, here they come, they're going to sell me something. You're going to also be seen as someone who really values relationships versus, oh, they're only a one-way conversation kind of person. They're only interested in what I can do or give them. So I hope that's helpful. If you find this helpful, let me know in the comments. Give us a thumbs up. And if you'd like more tips, I encourage you to check out the Down and Dirty Networking YouTube channel. This is where we've got curated playlists of different topics, whether you're an introvert, a student, a corporate professional, an entrepreneur. It doesn't matter. We've got something there for you that'll showcase how you can leverage relational networking to boost your effectiveness in everything that you do. And if you would like even more tips, as far we have articles and sign up for our newsletter, follow the Down and Dirty Networking LinkedIn page, and you'll see everything there. Or you can follow our Down and Dirty Networking Facebook page and find those things there. If wherever you're watching, you can always send a private message and just say, hey, where do I want to find this? And I'd be more than happy to help you out. You might be on my personal profiles or my personal channel. That's fine. Just drop a comment. I'll be happy to direct you where you can check out all of the resources and tips and tricks that we give you so that you are familiar with how you can engage this topic that we call relational networking. You can embrace a relational networking mindset. All right, now every Wednesday afternoon, I go live sometime between 3:30 and 5:30 p.m. Central Standard Time for another edition of Networking Know-How. If there's a specific question you would like for me to answer, a challenge that you're facing in networking, or you're like, well, I just really dislike networking, how can I make it better? Whatever your challenge is, big or small, go ahead and drop me a private message, whatever channel you're watching on right now. And you never know, I might choose your suggestion as a topic or question that we answer here on an edition of Networking Know-How. But I can't thank you enough for watching. And for those watching live, thank you for being here. You've made my day. And today's been a full day. Today's been a full day. So thank you for staying with me and staying until the end. Yeah, if you want to know why I don't want to bring it down, you can always message me. I'll be glad to tell you if you're interested. But thank you for making my day bright. Okay, I will see you next week on a next edition of Networking Know-How. And until next Wednesday, happy networking. Bye for now.